Hi, I'm Annabelle Ola. Welcome. I am here for the Wellness Education Series covering sleep and emotions and stress, which a lot of us have had recently, especially since COVID hit, or just in your lifetime in general. Who has not dealt with any of these things would be very rare and unlikely. So I want you to take a second before I start talking about this to take your own scale here on a scale of 1 to 10, 0 being not at all, 10 being this is a huge problem. How often are you aware of being stressed in your life? How concerned are you about the quality and quantity of your sleep? How frequently do your emotions feel difficult to manage appropriately? So you can kind of take note. You can even write it down somewhere just to have that and maybe use these solutions. And after a few weeks, retake this and see how that feels, because sometimes when we take a survey and then we start feeling better, we forget that it was a problem, which is good and bad because we want to know what worked. So starting with, we just did that part at the top. So you could see that same scale is up top. I'm just going to talk about the hypothalamus. It's a tiny control tower in the brain. So you see that little red area. When stress orders the brain to send out stress hormones, there's a problem in there where we get cortisol gets pumped out and all kinds of things. Everything gets thrown off. The body gets wacky. It's designed to protect you, but we don't need it all the time like we've been overusing because of stress, fight or flight type of mode, when you're super anxious, and then things get thrown off throughout the whole body. So this is where the hypothalamus really can get thrown out of whack and overused. So just like I said, it can bring devastating effects on the physical and mental well-being, and we're not even aware of it. So symptoms of chronic stress are over here on the right: irritability, anxiety, depression, headaches, insomnia, poor immune function, increased blood pressure, and actually there's a lot more like gut issues, so many things. And Lindsay could speak to that too. We're both health coaches and we know what stress can do to the body. It just literally will throw off everything. You can even start getting itchy skin. You can get rashes. You can get sort of almost like an allergy type situation happening to the body. So we really want to take care of our body and put it back into sync. 70% of the sleeping problems that you can read down here below are related to psychological issues. Some are environmental, some are medical. So if you're on medicine, that can also set things off. Increased cortisol levels mean melatonin levels will not be able to rise as they should to promote a restful sleep. And I will say for myself, and I don't know how you all have felt, but when I did the detox, because since the beginning of the year, I've been having sleep problems and I haven't really ever had that, or at least I haven't in a long time. And maybe it was the stress of COVID and other life things going on. But I will definitely say that, I'm just going to admit Shauna. Welcome, Shauna. I will admit that the detox is actually what reset everything. So obviously I was doing a lot of what I'm about to talk about, but the vitamins themselves really can keep the body at an equal level of where it should be. So I'm a huge fan of the vitamins, a huge fan of the detox, because it wasn't just weight loss. It wasn't just the quarantine 15. It was resetting my whole entire body. So my mood, my sleep, and everything. So a great regimen for the nighttime, and I use the Serenity capsules and the oil in my diffuser, and I feel like I'm in just a different world when I do this. I actually just bought the humidifier diffuser, which is coming back soon, full on. Thank goodness, because it is awesome if you don't have a humidifier, or if you want one because you have dry skin like I do or get nosebleeds. That one is one of the only ones on the market that you can put essential oils in. You cannot put essential oils in a regular humidifier. It will break it. I tried. So this is something you can do at home. The Copaiba soft gels, you can use them together or just one or the other and take two at bedtime. Or even when you're stressed, use it the same way, because some people are so stressed that the Copaiba helps that out. And then some alternative nightly regimens, the Adaptiv soft gels some people really like, as well as the Yarrow Palm. So all of them calm the nervous system, promotes relaxation and positive feelings, and let the body come down so it can stay in REM sleep. And REM sleep means you're at your deepest cycle of sleep where you should be. And when we're in that kind of sleep and we're really resting and not completely waking up every hour, your body can heal, and it has the time to heal and repair and restore itself. So that's a really big deal. I think that one of the leading nutritionists that I've watched before said, if you can't do anything else, and I'm talking about food and exercise, your sleep is number one. Of course, all of it's important, but if you can get your sleep set, it's huge, huge, huge for the body. So when this is called the hibernation roller, I thought this was cute. I haven't done it before, but I'm going to do it because I use frankincense every day. Vetiver's in the Serenity, and that's really good on the bottoms of your feet. It's a natural tranquilizer, which is a strong word, but it does calm. It's from the grass family. You put it at the bottom of the feet, and it grounds you. It just roots you down in. Bergamot's in this roller, calms and agitation and stress, natural sedative. Roman chamomile is really known, and it's been known historically for centuries for calming. You can read the history of Roman chamomile. It's pretty awesome, actually, as well as frankincense. So calming and relaxing, all of these are for calming. And then I'm going back to frankincense. Frankincense you should be using every single day. And I will say this because it's the one for all diseases. So when in doubt, get your frankincense out. It's the quote by Dr. Hill. And it's really important that you not only calm everything down and bring your body to optimum level with the immune system, but you want to oxygenate the blood. This is one of the only ones that oxygenates the blood. And if you oxygenate the blood, you're keeping it at optimum levels of health. So all disease. That's why I'm definitely putting frankincense daily on the top of my list. You can put a drop under your tongue, or you can do it bottom of the feet, back of the neck twice a day. But if it's in this roller and you want to get into hibernation mode because we're about to hit winter, go for it. So take a picture of this if you want to with your camera. And if you forgot what it is, I'll try and post it for you. So this is a really cool mood matrix. This is another thing you can take a picture of. I thought this was awesome. So if you're up here in the category number 1 of having issues with peace and fatigue, Serenity is your oil. So calming, composing, placating. I'm going to back that up a little bit and say that each person's body is very different. So just because one oil works for you, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Now I back up. It doesn't not mean that it will be best for your neighbor. So the next one I want to go over is if you have fatigue and passion, no passion, number 2 over here, citrus bliss. Now this is a happy oil, and whenever we do this study, I always give some people citrus bliss because we all could use a happy oil, and it's really just a lovely oil. Any of the citrus family, even Elevation Below, but citrus bliss is a fave for most people. So that's invigorating, stimulating, and motivating. Number 3 category down below, no peace, feeling stressed. So this is my daughter's oil, although citrus bliss and goes hand in hand with her with balance. If you feel like you're having meltdowns, or if you know someone who has sensory issues, or someone that has panic attacks, balance, grounding, reassuring, back of the neck. This is the story that I tell everybody what got me into doTERRA and made me a believer. My daughter used to have these sensory meltdowns going from a 0 to a 10, and I would put this on the back of her neck. She didn't know, 2 or 3 years old, and she'd just calm down and go right back to her toys. And I'm talking like the kind of meltdowns when you're in Target and they flip out and they're throwing things, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what the heck? So once I learned about balance and used it, I was like, I need 100 of these. This is my liquid gold. So balance is super powerful, and actually that's another one Dr. Hill says is a secret weapon. If you don't have that, I would think about using your points or investing in it in your next order. Elevation is one I'm actually diffusing right now. Inspiring, encouraging, and cheering. So when you're feeling no passion and you're feeling stressed and you just need uplifting, elevation is great. So those are some really fun things to play around with. The adaptive system, and I want Debbie to talk about this a little bit too in a second here, but the adaptive system is for mood regulation. So this was their big release in doTERRA where they did a bunch of studies, and they wanted you to know about if you're having irregular moods, mood swings, maybe even depression, you know, and they can't say this is true, this is going to treat your depression because they're they're working with the FDA, even though they are working with the FDA and no other oil company is, but they've got to be careful what they put out there. However, they have done studies where it has shown to help with mood and lift people up. So if you know somebody like that, we all do, or you have that yourself going on, this is probably one of your friends. So Debbie, do you want to speak to Adaptiv at all?
Sorry, I had to unmute. I use it every day. I take the capsules and I use the roller ball every morning. I think it makes a difference, but I'm one of those people that thinks that all of it makes a difference. I love the smell of it. And I had the oil and I had the roller ball. I prefer the roller ball. But I think that the tablet makes a big difference too.
Yeah, I mean, it goes into the bloodstream, but there's something about the internal piece of it. Does anyone else use Adaptiv here? No, it's okay. So Erin is someone who uses Adaptiv on our team, and she swears by it. It's her daily oil for sure. This is another screen you can take a screenshot of if you like. These are some really good recipes, and it's really nice when you have all these oils, like what do I do with this one? What do I do with sandalwood? Because I don't use that every day. These are great diffuser recipe blends. So it'll say 3 drops of Adaptiv and 3 drops of wild orange. Try that out today. Try any of these out today. And then you see the drops are for 1, 2, 3, forgive, 3 drops of balance, 1 drop of breathe. So you can just go down to each one and find your favorite, because I promise you, once you start finding your favorite diffuser recipes, you'll be keeping them by the diffuser and using them a lot. And right now, orange and clove are really great to use because of the time of year. And they're also uplifting. If anybody else wants to share a recipe that they've used before, please go ahead and put it in the chat field, because I would love to get some more of these recipes, and there's so many fun ones out there. So a nice kit with what we just talked about and showing you how you can do this in an affordable way. You know how when we get to 125 PV, we get the free oil of the month. So this is kind of going to that 125, which is always kind of you're right on the edge here if you're aiming for that. This is 131 PV. The whole kit is 145 with your membership price. So this is an example of what you could do to get the most for your money. So you'll get the Adaptiv system, the wild orange, or you could do the citrus bliss, the Copaiba soft gels, or the oil if you wanted to, and the balance. And then you'll get the free oil of the month, and you'll get product credits. And you guys, most of you here are at 30%. Maybe some of you are newer, but you got $30 back for every 100 you spend. So that's just a lot of savings to try some new things. So I just wanted to go through that. I really want you guys to take a picture of this, because we don't talk about it very much. And it's one of those things when someone has Lyme's or some chronic disease, this is what you're going to want to do. So the Symphony of Cells is a protocol that was established by holistic doctors. And it's a spinal technique, a collection of oils to help harmonize emotions and spiritual and physical part of the body and help the digestive and lymphatic drainage. You can see over here, it's telling you how you can use all of them on the back of the neck, the nose, or the feet. You can do all of them, but what I really want you to focus on is that this is all going down the spine for the most part, and you can put frankincense on the spine. I don't know why it's not on there, but you could also take it internally. Take a picture of this in case you ever have something chronic like that, or you want to give it a try, because these are some of their strongest healing oils, and actually some of the most expensive: rose, frankincense, spikenard, melissa. And the centering blend, I believe, is balanced, but I can always double check that. Your carrier oil can be anything, but coconut is something we like to use because it helps with the skin a little bit better. Try this on your spine. Have someone do it to you. You can put it in a roller bottle, all of these if you wanted to. It is phenomenal for healing. I'm just going to go over this briefly in case you don't know about it, but when you're ordering on the loyalty reward program, like I was talking about before, and now a lot of you are up to 30%, you can see in the first 1 to 3 months, if you're staying on loyalty reward program, even if you just keep something small in your cart, you're going to get 10% back the first 3 months, then the 4 to 6 range, 15%, 20% goes from there and upwards, and you can see how all of this works. And then plus you get free products, so that's always huge. And I don't know if you guys saw this month, they're giving away 5 things. So clove, digestion, tamer, Debbie, remind me of the other one. Peppermint, Lindsay, there's one more roller bottle. Anyway, there's 5 things, and that's over $100 worth of free product. So if you have digestive issues, then this is your month that you want to do the 200 PV. So if anybody wants to talk about the business, I'm happy to, but I actually wanted to open the floor to see if anyone has any questions for me in general. Does anyone have any questions? Mood, calming, body system, anything out there? No? Okay, well, thank you guys.
Wait.
Oh, go ahead.
I feel like I have a lot of oils.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just have too many oils.
Okay. Do you have your Modern Essentials book?
Yes.
I'm going to challenge you.
What?
I'm going to challenge you to read about 2 oils a week. Just read the history and what they do and play around with them, because it can be overwhelming. And then you can slowly learn this way and take those 2 oils and play around with them in your diffuser too. But I can also go over them with you separately.
I do read the stuff, the modern oils. I have all these books, and I just feel like I don't know that I feel different using them.
Okay. Which one's your favorite oil?
I don't know. Oregano, I guess.
Okay. Because you like the smell and you know what it's doing?
Right. I know what it's supposed to do.
Right. Right. And there is science behind it. So we can show you the studies for it too. Oregano is actually one of the ones I posted recently on the whole oil page. And it was a scientific experiment done outside of doTERRA in a lab. And so it does kill germs and disease and that kind of stuff.
And I use frankincense a lot too. So those 2 are the ones I use the most.
Sometimes we have our oils and we're feeling so good, it's our new norm. And also what's going on inside when things are coming from outside and then we don't get sick, we just don't even realize it's happened because the body's protected itself. I know that that's the case for me. I almost sometimes forget, that most people around me get sick all the time, or they're having really bad allergies, but I can reach my Tri-Ease, or some skin thing. I just cleared it up. Like Maggie she didn't show me for some reason until really late in the game, but she had on her big toe. It was an ingrown nail, but she had picked at it, so it became infected. And this is TMI, but it was all pussy and yellow, almost green. I was like, oh my gosh, do I take you to the doctor? All right, I'm going to try this. So, don't try this at home, but I've decided, because this is how I operate, because I've fixed UTIs and strep and other things and made sure I went back to the doctor and was responsible about it and got the okay and green light that I cleared it up. So I know it works because I've used all these things that way and experimented majorly on myself. So we drained that pus in a very clean environment, washed our hands, did the lemon oil. Then I put oregano and tea tree oil on it for 10 days. Totally cleared up, totally gone, totally fine. If you had gone to the doctor with that, what would they have done?
Got it. Antibiotic, probably.
Yep. And what would the antibiotic done to the system? They wouldn't be
yeast infection. Huh?
Yeah, go ahead.
I said yeast infection?
Could. It'd be yeast infection, wreaks havoc on the gut. It's going to strip everything from you. So now your immune system's down to nothing. So I'm not saying that you don't go to your doctor, because you do, but there are times where we don't have to go running to our doctor. Does anybody have an example of that? And that's where our oils are so precious to have at home.
Okay.
Do you have any examples of that? Because I know, Lindsay, you've been using them with your pups.
Yes. The one that, one of my Chihuahua, she's 10 years old, and for some reason this summer, she has really bad allergies, and it's showing up as almost like eczema on her skin. And I mean, she just constantly scratches. I mean, it's constant. So I know if I'm annoyed, I'm sure she's miserable. So there's a blend that I'll share with everyone when I do a class about dogs and oils. But
I need that one actually.
it includes this blend. It includes helichrysum and lavender, and there's a few others in it. But I've been applying it to all the little spots on her skin. I should probably just like dip her whole body in it.
Be expensive.
Yeah, that would be a lot, especially with the helichrysum.
What if you could do like fractionated coconut oil and do like a massage version?
Yes, you can. You can actually, blend it with the coconut, or this one you add, it's called colloidal silver. It's almost the texture of a olive oil, maybe a little bit thinner. And then you like top it off with aloe vera juice. So I've been adding this all over to her body, and it is starting to work. It's a slow process because like she keeps scratching everything open once it heals. Like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Ouch.
But it's slowly working. So
Okay,
we're
well that's good. And the great thing about Lindsay, she's been working on these certifications for pets, and there are certain oils to not do with animals, and there are some to use. But how much does it cost to go to your vet if you were to try that route?
I guess I kind of forgot to answer your question, but so like in speaking of how I didn't need to go to the doctor, in this case, right now I'm choosing not to go back to the vet because like in the springtime, when this all started for her, I took her and they gave her what's called a Cytopoint injection. It's a non-steroid allergy shot, basically. And it lasted probably close to 60 days before she started having symptoms again. But so I thought, oh my gosh, are we going to have to go get a shot that costs nearly $100 every 2 months for the rest of her life? And my pit bull also started to show some skin allergies, and his, because he's larger, cost even more. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. So I'm choosing not to go back, and I'm choosing to use these oils on them because they are working. If I had to go to the vet, I'll take them. I'm not going to be neglectful. But, I kind of want to try something else because I'm just one of those people who, I'm not against vaccinations, but I like to research and understand the long-term side effects. And I didn't like what I read about this particular injection, so trying something else.
And speaking of vaccinations, thank you, Lindsay. Maggie and I have major sensitivities. She actually had a Bell's palsy reaction to the swine flu shot, and it lasted an hour, and it was horrific and scary and devastating because that can be permanent for some people as a side effect of some of the vaccines. So I have really had to go, and so have almost everyone on this team, for multiple reasons. Their child's allergic to all antibiotics. Their child has this reaction to steroids. Almost everybody that's been a part of a holistic healing is because they haven't had a choice. They've had to go back to the earth and find something that actually works on a cellular level from the plants of the medicines we used to use back in time in history. So that's a big piece of the why in this. And so if you have questions or certain oils you want to go over, Denise or anyone else on here, and you want to create a regimen, because it really is nice to have a regimen. We've talked about it on some calls, but this is what you're going to do in the morning. This is what you're going to do in the afternoon. This is what you're going to do at bedtime, or even just the AM, PM, whatever simplifies and helps you in your life. I put some by my coffee machine. I set the diffuser before I go to bed at night, so I can just click the button in the morning because I kind of know what I'm going to want to do. I have some by my bedside. I have some by my toothbrush. So I have like my hot spots in the house to get me in a pattern and in a schedule and to keep the usage. But if you're not getting sick or you're not having issues, that's an indicator that things are working for you. So hopefully that's the case.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
I know. Yes. We'll help you out, Denise. Anytime you have something, you just reach out.
Okay.
And then again, not to say there's no doctor here. The doctors are great and they're here for a reason. But that doesn't mean that we don't have alternate options of healing.
Okay.
So, Anyway, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out. If you want to learn about how to get your oils for free each month, which is something we've talked about to some of you before, let me know. I'm happy to personally talk to you about that so I don't bore everybody else with the same thing that they've seen before. And you guys have a really great day. I hope you got something out of this today.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Happy Saturday.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.